All right. So, I want to thank you all for coming out today. What a beautiful day we had. It wasn't raining, it wasn't too hot. And I want to thank you for taking time out of your day to come on out here. My name is Jane Cormier, and I'm running for District 16, and those are the towns of Bow, Dunbarton, Candia, Hooksett, and wards 1, 2, and 12 of Manchester. I have had one term in the House of Representatives and decided when we moved to Hooksett that I would take up a special opportunity. And this opportunity was to primary somebody that I do not believe is a friend to the Republican platform. And at the risk of being in the political doghouse here, because we're supposed to play nice. No. I tell you what, we're in part 2 of our 3-part campaign, and part 2 is this: we tell the truth. And you know what? If we don't start to tell the truth within our party as Republicans, we are doomed to get what we keep getting, which is people that are not going to fight for the platform. So let's take a look, and I'll tell you specifically 4 or 5 major and reasons why I jumped into the primary. I was on WMUR. I was supposed to have a 20-minute wonderful interview, and it turned into a 2-minute interview. But that's okay. We take what we get, and we'll try to get that 20-minute. So to encapsulate that 2-minute here, we have a platform of exceptionalism, right? We have an exceptionalism party. I know that's a dirty word today, but it really shouldn't be. Opportunity, but mostly we're supposed to have large planks that are for certain things. For instance, we're supposed to take a pledge as Republicans to support no new taxes, right? Low tax base, as low as you can. No new taxes. We're supposed to be against regulation, all that fun stuff. We have a gas tax, 23% gas tax here in New Hampshire, and as we're looking at another gas tax coming from the feds, we'll see what we end up with at the end of this. But we had a gas tax. My opponent voted for. Mind you, I would tell you that he signed in 2012 CNHT, Coalition of Taxpayers in New Hampshire, pledge no new taxes, and then signed on the line as a Republican to bring us the gas tax. The platform of the Republican Party is supposed to be against Medicaid, absolutely spelled out Obamacare. Medicaid expansion happened with Senator Booton signing on the line again, telling us that he actually believes that the federal government is going to pick up the tab for all of these folks that have now signed up for this free insurance. We know free doesn't happen. Okay, he signed on the line. We know that as a Republican, we believe in workforce freedom. We know that we are supposed to support right to work, because individual choice does matter to this platform. And we know that again and again, Senator Booton has voted against right to work in New Hampshire. We know that Senator Booton has voted to table Common Core when we wanted to take up the discussion in the Senate this term to boot Common Core out. Booton threw it on the table. He voted to throw it on the table. He has been invisible on Common Core in the state of New Hampshire. And as one of 24 in the Senate, I say shame on him, because there is nothing more important than the education of our children. Yes. So I think it's really important that the rubber hit the road. And that we boot Booton. Because the truth is, until we start being truthful about what we are looking at, we cannot solve the problem of overregulation, diminished private rights. We have rights that are being usurped by the growth of our government. And we should not be putting people into office in the Republican Party that are supposed to be espousing small government. All right? And you know what? For those people out there that, and let me tell you, I hear things all the time. This has been such an education, this run for Senate. It's been great in a lot of ways. It's tough work, but it's great. I guess the dialogue is that, she has just jumped in. She's not from this area. They've called me a free stater. They call me a right-wing bomb thrower. They call me just about everything. You know what I am? I'm pissed. I am. And I have to say, I feel that way because common sense tells us that we're going down the wrong road. And it's illogical for us to keep going. When do we say enough? When is it enough? Well, I'm running for Senate because it's enough. And I decided that if I don't step in, who will? I'm going to run. And they can say whatever they want on the left, that I'm this and I'm that, but I tell you what I am. I love the New Hampshire Constitution, and I believe in the U.S. Constitution. And I unflailingly will support them no matter what party tells me what to do. They come first. God first, family and country come right after it. But you know what? We have to start getting the word out because we can't let people believe anymore that they are helpless in this. You are not helpless. We are not helpless. We need to get up and we need to engage people. We need to teach them if they're not used to being in the political system. We have to say, come on out because your vote will ensure that we change direction here. We need you. A republic doesn't work if we're too placid. A republic doesn't work if we're not participatory. You want to win? You want to turn this around? Get active. Now I'm going to end on this note. A very interesting thing in my race. There is no Democrat at the other end of this tunnel. Okay, we have a primary where it's Senator Booton and I battling it out, and then in November, no candidate. So I think it's pretty safe to say, barring something really bizarre, whoever wins that primary is going to be sitting one in those 24 seats in the Senate. But I'll tell you what I'm going to do, and this kind of goes right into the next speaker. September 9th, after my election, I'll know whether I'm in or not, right? And it doesn't matter if I win or lose, because on September 9th, you'll see me on September 10th, doing everything I can for Senator Bob Smith and for Andrew Hemingway to win their elections, because it does count, it does matter. So, you know what? Everything happens for a reason. I'm a great believer. God knows what we don't know. And September 9th, doesn't matter. You know, I'll be glad to win. If I lose, it's okay. We're jumping back on the train because we're going to make sure that the other conservatives in this race will win, and we won't sit down, and neither should you. Thank you very much.
Any questions? I don't think so. This is one of the reasons that I feel so privileged to be working with Jane on this campaign, because she never has to remember what she told somebody, because she always tells them the truth. And I so admire that. We have candidates here today that operate on that same principle. And sometimes we forget that your word really is your bond. And if you break it once, you'll break it again and again. My father used to tell me, he said, Susan, he says, you never know what you're going to do until you're tempted. And the question is, what tempts politicians? What tempts us? I don't think many things tempt Jane except the chance to put on that Brunhilde helmet and knock out an aria.
Croc TV.